You are now listening to the West Side of THAAfterparty.com.
Hi, I'm James Lott Jr., producer and host of Extra Connections. Join me every Monday live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I bring on people from all walks of life. I will connect you with people, places, things, and ideas. You'll never know who will stop by. That's Extra Connections, every Monday on the West Side of the After Party Radio. See you at the party.
Connections. Extra Connections. 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 People, places, things, ideas. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, healings. Arts, culture, politics, science. Health, music, acting, dance. Connections. Extra connections. 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 Older, younger, full hunger. Living life, victory, strife. Arts, culture, politics, science. Health, music, acting, dance. 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 Connections. Extra connections. 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 Extra connections. Connections. Extra connections.
It must be Monday, folks. It's the Extra Connection Show with James Lott Jr. Of course, I'm James Lott Jr. And I'm here with another great guest, and this sandwich is smelling so good right now, and I'm hungry. I took pictures of it. You can see it on camera. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Like, I have to try to focus for the next, 45 minutes or so. But I can do this. These two gentlemen have this great restaurant, several locations, but the one that I'm talking about is the one in Inglewood. We're going to talk about where it is and where to go, and we'll talk all about it and learn about them getting into business and supporting small business, medium-sized business, black business, what that's all about, how they work together and everything. Please help me welcome Comfort LA's
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Mark and Jeremy.
Absolutely.
Hello.
That's my big brother Mark right here.
The beard gang right here. I got like a baby beard. I just shaved it.
It's all good, man.
I love it.
Good,
I'm jealous, completely jealous. So first we do some church announcements, as we always say. We're on the After Party. Go everywhere, like, subscribe, share, comment, rate, whatever we have to tell you to do, just do it. It's for your own good benefits. Go there. It's the THA, not THE, the After Party, because we're that special in a great way. That's right. And this show, Extra Connections, of course, is on Facebook. We're on iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com, iTunes, and YouTube. So wherever you see it, there's a button somewhere. I don't know where that goes. Follow it, subscribe to it, like it, share it, people. And you foodies out there, share this episode. Let people know more about this, and you Inglewoodians, too. I'll make sure I say that. And the song you just heard, of course, is my theme song. And now we're going to talk to them. I think I said everything. Stay in your seats, turn off your phone. There you go. Right. Hi, gentlemen.
How you doing, brother? Inglewoodian. I think that's the first time I
know.
You heard that?
I didn't know that's how you say
I'm
it.
from Inglewood.
There it is.
I went to school in Inglewood. I grew up in Inglewood, so I'm a
Okay.
true Inglewood person.
Beautiful,
And I did
brother.
leave for a while and come back, but that's a whole other story.
You got to go away to come back.
That's true, actually.
Facts.
I actually appreciate it more now than I
course.
left. When I left, it was kind of ghetto. I had to leave. I kind of got run out of town, but now I'm back, and it's great. I'm older. So, now, okay, first of all, your place, Comfort LA, you have several locations. There's one in downtown LA, too, right?
Correct.
Okay. What made you come to Inglewood?
Why not? I mean,
I like that. Okay.
Why not? I mean,
That's the bell. Okay, got it.
no, we just essentially being downtown would have a lot of people from Inglewood come to our location downtown. Oh yeah, that was a big thing. I mean, they supported us, and so that was the thing we kept hearing. Like, you'd hear when you come to Inglewood, when you come to Long Beach. So it's just one of those things that we'd hear when you come out in the valley. So it's just one of those things.
Wow.
But Inglewood was the one that just so many people just kept asking when you come to Inglewood, when you coming, and then an opportunity presented itself. We looked around, we saw some other locations.
Okay.
It didn't work out, and the opportunity presented itself. Which this one is kind of interesting and funny because the realtor, the broker, we do a lot of pop-ups, and he tasted the food at a pop-up.
Wow.
And he said, I am personally interested in making sure that you get to Inglewood because I live close by, so I don't have to travel downtown.
Look at God.
Right, and so literally,
God.
and that was his. That's
There are no coincidences.
Exactly.
Say that. There are no. It's a divine intervention. That's so funny.
100%.
Wow, that's amazing. And you're over there on Plymouth and La Brea, right there next to Harbooks or whatever over there. That's why that whole location. I knew the location going to school that direction and being on Sentinel. I mean, you're in a good location.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
Clearly,
are.
heard it was like a lot of turnover before we got there.
There was.
You know what I mean? You being Inglewoodian, I'm pretty sure you've seen it.
Nice. Now he likes the word. That's his new word.
Exactly.
You go Woodian. Woodian.
But yeah, hopefully we can end that streak. for a
Exactly.
while,
You will.
for sure.
I'm gonna speak into existence. You will.
There we go.
I was like, that's how I was going to work because there has been, I don't want to be shady Monday or anything, but there was some stuff going out there. Oh, and side note, I just want to say to all our veterans out there, to veterans of my family, veterans that have lost their lives, veterans who are still here, happy Veterans Day.
Hey,
we go.
Today and
Veterans
every
Day.
day.
Absolutely.
Not even just today, every day.
Absolutely. Brothers
You too.
veteran right here, man.
Well, thank you for your
Straight
service.
up.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely, man.
And where were you in?
I was in the Army, paratrooper at Fort Bragg. So yeah,
Wow.
and
Okay.
yeah.
You could write a book on his life.
He's for real. He's for real over there.
Levels, bro.
Wow, okay. Well, thanks for your service.
Thank you. That's a chapter. That's one of the
Absolutely.
chapters in the life.
Absolutely, for sure. For sure.
Now, you guys say it. Well, before we get to that, you're smart because Inglewood is changing right now and it's growing. Like they came, every party came here. The stadium's coming here. The Metro. Like you guys are smart.
Yeah, I definitely got to really tip that to Big Bro. Like, I mean, he's the one who watches where the next boom is coming, and he definitely identified Inglewood as a place that we needed to go. And like I said, we saw the patrons come in heavily for Inglewood. I feel like it only made sense, really. Yeah.
It's funny. The night I went, it was like a Wednesday night, and it was very diverse when I was in there. Actually, there were black folks there, but there were like everybody was in there.
Key.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what the Comfort LA experience is. It doesn't matter who you are, what walk of life, you come in and you feel like family. All right, we set up an environment that is like your favorite uncle's house, if you will. So
I like that.
you can see that if you come in from the board games that we have.
Yes,
we got
you do,
dominoes on the table. You understand me? You come in and get your bones right.
Okay, you're like,
Spades,
no,
tournaments.
MFer. I want to say it, but I can't say it.
Spades
Yes.
tournaments to Uno. We just want to create an atmosphere where even if you come in and don't know someone, you sit next to someone you don't know, to start some type of dialogue or relationship. So
I mean, it was very much community seating, which I like that. So I think I like that idea, and I also liked all the album covers.
key.
I was like, I know that album. I bought that album that came out. I'm old. Yeah, I loved it. It was all the old. We like that.
Not
a
at
lot.
all. It's all strategic. It started from our downtown location. When we built it, we always built it with a bigger goal in mind. So identifying those key elements that will be in every Comfort LA moving forward. And the record wall is definitely a staple.
And you have some art on there too.
Absolutely.
And it was African American art.
Absolutely.
If I remember correctly.
Shout out to Rob. Rob will go. That's his Instagram tag. He's an extremely talented artist out of Chicago. Yeah, he recreated the Jetsons for us, my brother.
I loved it.
Feel me?
We were like,
Absolutely.
what?
All black everything.
I loved it. Why
All
not?
black
It's art.
everything.
I
Exactly.
love black art. Love it.
We create our own narrative. You know what I mean?
true.
We've been shown something, and that's just us as a people. We take things and we finesse them, and we make them that much better. So,
Here's part of Shady Monday. We do it best.
that part, it is
Don't
what
tell
it is.
anybody. We do it best. We may not always invent it, but when we get our hands on it,
It's very
Put a
true.
lot of flavor on it.
yeah, that's
Very
right,
true.
kids. That's right. Now, your tagline is a clean approach to soul food. Can you explain that?
Yeah, it just basically starts from the ingredients. Originally created the concept. We wanted to take the foods that we grew up on, and just clean them up a little bit. So since we still fry chicken, but it's we use all organic
It
product,
was good, too.
non-GMO, and that goes for the veggies as well. So we just all organic across the board. So it's ways that you can still create and enjoy those beautiful flavors. But if you just, it doesn't need all the lard, or it doesn't need you don't necessarily need meat in your greens for them to be fire.
Right.
But
'Cause our greens are vegan.
No, his greens are good. I had them. I'm
Respect,
just telling
bro.
you, lard does taste good. It's not good for us. But I mean, that's the thing. Like you said, we take what you said earlier. We take what we're just given. We're handed down
Absolutely.
ham hocks and greens, and this and everything's salty and all. And like we're all dying
Right.
of high blood pressure and heart attacks.
Facts.
Now you can actually have something that's a little different. Because our people, we have that problem. I have high blood pressure. We have that problem. We gotta be careful with that.
Definitely. I mean, it was all it was all strategic. So it's about us changing the narrative of what it was, but still keeping our authenticity.
How did you choose the menu? Because it's not a huge menu. It's a nice sized menu. Some places have like the Bibles. You're like, I don't know what to order. I don't know what to order. It's like, hello. I was like we got to have a nice lean menu of
Okay.
products.
It was strategic, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, ironically, when we first started our pop-up, only thing, as we call it, the OG plate. So we had.
This thing is smelling so goddamn close. It's just smelling too good. I have to close it. It's too much.
So initially, only thing we served was order, our wings, mac and cheese, and collard greens,
Facts.
and our cornbread. That was it. That was the only
Cornbread
thing.
was so good. Oh my god. It was
Yeah.
good.
So that was the only thing we
Okay.
served on our OG.
And just to recap, just so people who aren't familiar, like we start off as a pop up.
Okay, okay.
March 2015, and
Oh, wow,
that's
okay.
what he's alluding to. We rocked the pop up for 10 months. 10 months after that, we were able to open our first full time location. From location number 1, food truck location number 2.
So you're very methodical. You're just kind of like, I'm not gonna start out huge. I'm gonna start out small and just keep being steady. So that was you, the business
Bro.
sense.
Well,
Absolutely.
essentially, I mean, it was very obscure because the ironic thing I think is kind of funny where our first 10 months, we were only open Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, but Friday nights is from 9 p.m. until 3 a.m. And Friday and Saturdays 9 to 3, and on Sundays we're from 3 p.m. to 9. Right, so that was it. That was strictly our pop-up for the first 10 months, because we knew that if it's sort of personal. Part of it, we're all, I was working before downtown, and late night, and I was like, there's nothing good to eat at night. There's nothing good to eat. I couldn't find anything. So part of it was, at a certain point in time, it just, let's fix the problem.
Yeah.
And so we decided to do it. And like, we can't be the only one. And then so we started going, and then so many other people started asking. And then so we started with that as a base and just listen to the community. And then so people said, why don't you add this? Why don't you do that? And so we listened. Like literally, it was us, and we had another one of our brothers with us, and we just did everything. We washed the dishes, we threw the trash away, communicated, and just listened. Like literally. And so once people start saying, well, this would work great with that, then we added certain other things, and we had the ginger ale, our drink as well too, from the very beginning. And that's the tea. So that was early, and then we just started adding little things and just kept on adding one thing after another, but really kept it simple because essentially we wanted to create an experience. But we understand now that, we always get a piece of, why don't you do fish? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And I think, well, you can't do everything great. And our whole thing is like everything on the menu, you should have a connection, a feeling, no matter what it is. And so we're going to also be able to prepare it a certain way. So it's going to be fresh. It's going to be with love. It's going to be so you lose a lot of that if you go to this menu and like you said, it's like a Bible versus if you want to have a certain experience, then you come to comfort for it because this is what you're going to get.
Exactly.
I like that.
You're going to get this every time.
Now, you're a chef. Are you cook?
Yes, sir. I'm not a chef. I'm a flavor finesser. I just want to
Okay.
articulate that.
I'm going
Yeah, absolutely. Because
Flavor finesse.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
100%. I have an intimate relationship with flavors. I understand them deeply.
Okay.
I never had any Okay, I got my mic check. I never had any culinary training of any capacity. I just learned pretty much watching my father. My father taught me, and it's really God gifted, man. I just listen to my ancestors when I'm seasoning stuff. You feel me? Stop when they say so.
Stop right there. I love that. Now, when I say why I love it, because I always say that my ancestors are on my shoulders and they're wings for me to fly.
100%.
No matter whatever I do. Because I know for a fact that I have on my own show,
Facts.
it's because of them. I like that. You said I like that.
Absolutely, man. You can't go forward without your past, man. Your past is always with you, G. So.
I haven't ring this bell this much on my show. He just drop it. I love it.
Love, brother.
I know I do. I mean, it's. I mean, and that's the thing. We are black folks. Other races rely on their culture and history and their ancestry for food, dance, everything. We can't forget that. We're the village.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
The elders are just as important as the young people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wisdom.
It's like, hello. So we need to remember that. That's why I like that. Where you both from, first of all?
All right. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland! I know Cleveland. I know Ohio. I know all about that. Okay.
Yeah, hence the primary source of the recipes.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love Cleveland. I my family at Middleburg Heights and Shaker Heights.
Okay, yeah, he's not like
I know all about that. Brunswick, Medina. I know Ohio.
You know something about Cleveland?
I know all about
What
Cleveland.
you know about Cleveland Heights, Ohio, man? Born and raised right there.
I know. Even though I'm a Steelers fan, so
All right.
I know. I
Take this off right
I know
now.
he's like, bye. Okay, here's a little side note. So I went to because the rivalry. For those of you who don't know, Browns Steelers big rivalry.
Big rivalry.
I mean, and both, and because I'm from Pittsburgh, so I know also. So I saw it. So anyway, so I would go with my cousins to a Steelers game at Brown Stadium.
Oh, you're bold.
Wearing my jersey. I was like, I'm going to do it.
You bold.
And it was a little rough.
You bold. I know it was.
A little rough. I had fun though. It was a little
That's all
rough.
that matters, bro.
That's all that matters.
That's all that
And they had the Rock
matters.
and Roll Hall of Fame there too.
Yes,
I've been there
sir.
several
Very
times.
true.
I went there once. They had a
Very,
really
very
good
true.
Prince exhibit. It was really good.
Yeah. They do some dope stuff.
That and the whole lake effect. I know about that too.
Man. I hate lake effect snow though, bro. Don't like the lake effect snow, man.
The thing about Ohio is that you could have 4 seasons in one day.
It's real. Very true. Very, very
Crazy.
true.
It was like that we did a pop-up.
Yeah,
That's
for
what
sure.
happened to Lake
I know Ohio.
For
trust me.
sure.
I know Ohio. I miss my Bob Evans. That's another story.
Hey, what you know about Bob?
Best breakfast on earth.
man.
The best
I
biscuits
rock
and
with you,
gravy
man.
for a chain.
It's very
They're
good.
So
Chain,
good.
I agree. Chain,
For a chain,
exactly.
it's really
Definitely.
good. Not these
100%.
tired gravy they have out here in California.
These are-
This is real
It's
white
different.
gravy.
The food is different where we from,
Yeah.
bro. Like it really is, man. And like you don't really understand that until you leave, you know.
Yes.
So.
But also influences you too in your cooking. Like
Absolutely,
you said, the menu, everything.
absolutely. Like it's like the menu items, for example, are named after like different family members. Like Cousin Keenan's mac and cheese. That's really like behind my cousin Keenan. You feel me?
Okay.
Mama is my granny, so Mama's candy
funny.
yams. You know,
Okay.
my mama's beans and rice. So
Those yams were good too.
Respect,
oh,
brother.
God. Oh my Jesus.
respect.
I think I went home and I went straight to sleep. I got the itis very easily. And those of you who are black know what I'm talking about. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Jamaica.
Hey, the islands.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
I'm ready. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Jamaica. I migrated when I was a teenager to like the Maryland, D.C. area.
Oh, okay.
And so that's
okay.
That's where I went to high school and undergrad in that area. So
Island boy. I'm an island boy too.
Hey.
I know how it is. Thanks to West Indies, everything. I know all about that. I've been to the islands many times. We're gonna take a quick break. You're gonna hear one of my songs. We'll be back. Extra Connections with Mark and Jeremy.
My ears are bleeding. My tears are flowing. My fears are growing. I cannot carry. Too many people. So much hurt. What can I do? I cannot carry. Quality. 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 eyes are tired. My arms are heavy. My shoulders dropped. I cannot carry. So much to deal. Too much to heal. My energy cropped. I cannot carry. Today I just want the world to stop spinning round and round. Quality. 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 Today I just want the world to drop everything that's bound. Quality. 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 Quality.
And we are back, Extra Connections here on After Party Radio. I'm here with Mark Walker and Jeremy McBryde from Comfort LA, and we're just laughing because I do 8 million things, as many of you guys know. You new folks just Google James Lott Jr. You'll see all the 20 things that I do. But the thing you just heard is my song Quality. It's off my new album, Salty Clouds and Sunflower Dreams. That came, I can get it anywhere with streaming. That's with the Third Dimension. I know, I do all kind of stuff. Okay, so what does the other bring that the other doesn't bring? Like, how do you guys work it out?
Oh, we the true epitome of
Yes.
yin and yang.
So okay,
Like
okay.
literally,
Okay.
I'm a scatterbrained creative. I'm all over the place with everything. You feel me? I want to try everything. I want to try this,
funny.
see how this works. You know what I mean? I'm not good with structure at all. Like in any capacity.
And he
This
reels it
man-
in.
Yeah,
Li-
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah,
One of the
well,
few people who can.
Yeah,
To be honest.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is. Like we're perfect balance in that sense. Whereas I call him Jordan, he's like Jordan in the kitchen. You know, his brother does stuff in the kitchen. I mean, it's simpler.
Yeah.
Like he does stuff that he thinks is like, all right, yeah, just do this. It's cool. Yeah, and I'm like, bro, like the rest of us can't do that. It's like it's
Oh, yeah.
you know, just like we can't. You know, so that's literally the way it works. But I think that's really the balance where we have sort of like this trust. If he said, hey, we're gonna do this, okay. I trust it 100%. And
Vice versa.
when I'm like, hey, let's, with Inglewood or what, and he trusts, so,
Right.
clearly there's an explanation like, hey, we're going to do this and da-da-da-da-da, I hear the process, the reason behind it, and this makes sense. Okay, cool. But it's just one of those things where only thing I can say is God sent, you know what I mean? Like, literally, where, for the time that we've been working together, it just seemed like, people like, it's my brother. I mean, essentially, where if I was to tell you that we met.
Yeah, tell me,
we-
that's my
no,
next
no, I
question.
mean, like, literally, no, it's
Yeah,
like,
next question.
we met and we started 3 weeks. 3 weeks later.
Oh, you guys are like old friends,
No,
like
no, no,
20
I mean-
years. Like 20 years, you like all of a sudden
But
you
it,
no.
it feels like that.
It
though.
does, for
It
real.
does. I mean,
Wow.
like, literally, it was one of those things where I was working on something for a year and a half, and I met him, and he'd been thinking about the same thing.
Okay, so let's stop there for a second. That's crazy. Because no, I've interviewed many duos from different things, like comedy duos and things, and I'm always fascinated by this because to be a duo, it's like it's not just about yourself, it's about each other,
Absolutely.
but still having your needs met too, almost like a relationship. Well, it is a relationship,
It is,
but
for
like
sure.
it is. So just speak of that. I mean, like, what was it about him that and what was it about him that just at the beginning you're like, why do you, as you look back now, why do you think it clicked?
Man, vibes. Man. That's all I can really say.
Okay,
man.
okay,
Like,
divine
you know what
enrichment, I
I mean?
guess,
No,
right?
for real. Like, you know what I mean? Just being out, like I said, I'm from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Just being out in LA, man, you get an understanding
Oh,
of
yeah.
how people move.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
so, like,
Yes.
like having, like, the utmost training in that field, you feel me? Like,
Yes, I
bullshit.
do.
Oh, my fault.
Bullshit, he said it. Oops, but yeah.
The BS radar, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yes.
Bro just checked off all the boxes, man. His consistency with
Okay.
what he said to what he does, his willingness, you know what I mean, to get in there and thug it out. You feel
Yeah,
me? Like
yeah.
when there's times he doesn't necessarily have to. So like that. His work ethic, you know what I mean? And the fact that he's Jamaican, I know they do a lot of work, man, and multiple jobs,
That's
man.
right.
You feel me? So
Well, you got a good one.
I do for a fact, man.
She Caribbean too in there. So what's going on? We got all the Caribbean. We work hard.
No, that's real. No, but man, for real, that and just like you said, man, God.
Yeah,
man.
it was. I mean,
Really.
like literally. So I came from a totally different sector. I mean, I was scaling business, taking companies public, business, and that was my
Write a
background.
book on this, man.
Okay,
And so-
I love it.
Chapters.
I love it. I love it.
But you get to the point where you've been, you do this for multiple companies, you do it for multiple people, and you said at some point in time, let me implement the strategies that I've created for self. So it was like I stopped. I took a year and a half to just identify what
Okay.
industry and became to this. We met at a mutual friends event,
Okay.
and it just clicked. And I was like, bro, you got a restaurant, a food truck? And he said, no. I said, let's talk.
Okay.
And from the moment we said, let's talk, 3 weeks later, we started. Like,
because and go to what he's saying. Let's talk. Let's do lunch. Let's meet up. And then a year later, it doesn't happen. Crickets, folks.
That's real.
No,
So-
because I'd been
Yeah.
working, and putting all the pieces together. So it's just a matter of, as they say, when the students ready, people prepare, all those things. I just kept walking, and then we met.
There's a saying I like: luck favors the prepared.
Right, and that's what it was. We met in conversation and like everything. It
We
just,
were
it was
spot
just,
on, like,
it was
you know,
spot on.
definitely.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
in terms of vision,
Wow.
it was literally.
Late
So
night
when we
eating downtown.
started, people swore. I mean, and literally that's what it is. Both of us had the beard, like everything. So it's not like,
How funny.
yeah, it wasn't like, I'm gonna go to bed. No, it was just like, it's like, we need to create this image and this vibe. No, it's like, I mean, we're authentic self. I mean, like literally, like everything. We need to put it so gimmicks. Nah,
thought about that.
yeah, I mean,
That's funny. It's funny.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
just like we were authentic self, like two brothers. So people like, yeah, and that's
the same
how it was.
coloring and everything too.
Yeah,
Kind of crazy. Okay.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
just
Same
like,
tribe. I'm pretty sure we from
oh,
the same
bro,
tribe, man.
definitely,
Oh, definitely. I'm sure. Oh, definitely.
definitely. We just hit the ground running, and we haven't looked back. But it was just, I got in there and rolled my sleeves.
Well,
up
let's
and
talk
did
about that. I
everything.
want to. That leads into the next thing. I want to talk about this. I want people to have a realistic expectation about starting a business, especially a food-based business.
Work.
Aren't there 8,000 of them in LA? Weren't you even nervous about that at all? I mean, how did that go? I mean, obviously it's working, but
Like you said, fortune favors the bold, man.
Yep.
Sometimes you just gotta piss in the wind, man. I hope it don't get on you.
in. I never heard that before, but I'm in. I'm in. Love it. Like I'm in. Yes.
Straight up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, that's it, man. Because
That's true entrepreneurship. That's true entrepreneurship.
You hear the negatives. Restaurants don't last a year. This, that, and the third. But when you really are, identify a need that needs to be met. First thing, and B, deliver a product that is actually quality. That you have to search to find something wrong with this. You know what I'm saying? So with those two elements itself, I feel like that's the winning recipe. It's just people are nervous. They get in their way. You let so many other outside forces tell you what you can't
Right.
do. You know what I mean? And
That's true.
I mean, we all fall victim to it. 'Cause
Oh,
we're
yeah,
all
yeah.
human.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that can never be a deterrent on you propelling towards something that you feel is attainable.
I like that. I agree with that. I think, I was, like I said, 10 years ago, I was 40 years old. I started from scratch. I left the corporate world. I hated it. Came back to Inglewood, and I was like, I'm going to start from scratch. People thought it was during the recession. It was like 2008, and they're like, "You're crazy, James." But it's one of those things where you're like, but it's like it's with you guys. Like you have to kind of just believe in yourself,
Right.
and just do it.
Right.
See what happens.
Yeah, roll your
It-
sleeve up and get in.
It may work.
Definitely.
How funny is that? Everybody will tell you how it may not work.
Exactly.
I was supposed to. Well, what if it does work?
Exactly. And I can only imagine what he was getting, especially coming from the world
Yes.
that he was in.
Yes.
And seeing this dude in the kitchen, you feel me? I can only imagine what his circle of friends were like.
Oh yeah, they all thought I was crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Everybody thought I was crazy.
Sure, I'm sure.
Literally. Everybody thought I was crazy. It's like, Mark, you okay? I mean, like literally. That was
I'm
sort
sure.
of all my friends. It just because because I didn't talk to anybody else about it. There was no conversation about what I was doing.
That's good
So
sometimes.
throughout the whole time, and me doing my research and creating the plan, so it was none of that. I just was like, okay, they just knew that here it is, the pop up, and I'm suit and tied. Prior to that, I'm
Right.
like suit and tied, like analyzing companies,
Wow.
looking at numbers, watching the market, analyzing the end carry trade, like all these things. So that's my background. So to go from that to like jumping in this, and people just thought I was like, what's Mark doing?
And I thought he was a delivery guy before he came in today. I'm always delivering food. I said, Brittany, do you order some food?
Hey,
This man is like Fortune 500. I'm saying, come on.
that's necessary, and that's part of the
Absolutely.
business. So
100%.
there were moments. That's what it was. We
Sometimes
started.
you gotta
as
be
a-
the janitor. Like,
exactly, delivery
come on.
guy. Shoot,
Exactly.
washing the dish.
We built the tables in our first location. Like,
Oh, wow.
Yes.
we ripped the stuff off the walls. Like, if you
took the trash to the dump, to the
Come on,
city
man.
dump.
Wow.
and some
Yeah.
church shoes, because I ain't had no, because you had to wear hard sole shoes. I ain't had no hard bottom shoes, so I was in church shoes, moving asbestos field. I'm sure
Trying
materials.
not to mess them up also.
Straight-
Trying to mess them
no,
up.
they was messed up.
Oh, they messed
It wasn't
up.
no not messing them up.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
wrap
yeah.
after that.
That's,
Oh yeah, because we had to dump it, and so
Yeah.
the build out, it was like we approached a few people to build out, and they were like, "Oh, to move it was like some ridiculous." And we're like, "Nah, we're gonna do it ourselves." So
yeah.
we went to it was a Home Depot, rented the truck by the hour, loaded all the stuff up, packed and the city dump is like a few blocks away from us.
I'm reliving it now.
Now you're living it. Now you're living
So,
it now.
and the comedy thing about it was like, you have to wear sort of hard sole shoes, and to see him with sweats, it's church shoes.
See the things you have to go through. Good story for
Oh
later. Good
man,
story for
that's
later.
hilarious, man.
Yeah, that day we all fell out
man.
laughing.
Yeah, that was-
But it's funny because like now you can laugh outside that, but that really was hard work.
Oh yeah, man, it was definitely hard work.
Like blood, sweat, and
Yeah.
tears.
Absolutely, man.
there.
You get out what you put in, man.
Right.
You know, to the core with this.
Now, I mean, so you're in downtown and in Inglewood, so you picked really two locations that are really growing. But the downtown location, why did you choose downtown? Like, when you originally went there, what was it about that? So why did you choose downtown?
Well, downtown had a relationship with someone who our pop-up was there, so there was their kitchen, but they were using it as a prep kitchen, so
Okay.
they used it during the day, and so it allowed us to do it at
Okay.
night.
Okay.
So
okay.
that allowed us to get in there, sort of low barrier entry from a cost perspective. So, and then once we outgrew that spot, we, literally it was a day where like we're growing, and I just started walking. I just literally.
Okay.
Because
okay.
when you drive and there are things
You
that
can't
you
see-
miss,
yeah,
you
miss
can't
it.
see.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I was like, hey, we need, we've established ourselves in this location to the north and the south of us. There's got to be something within 4 to 5 blocks. And so I just walked and close to anything I saw that remotely. I knocked on the door and knocked the place next door and just kept doing that. We looked at a few other places, and the landlord said, yeah, we're going to do it. And they may drag their feet, and then it's like, nope. And then so this spot that we found, like the landlord, Richard, like I said, is a godsend. He literally is a godsend. It was, he was like, we spoke, handshake deal. He's like, okay, I like you guys. I like what you're doing. And shook hands on it and said, all right, we just figured out how to make it happen. And then we got in and worked it out.
So now the thing I want to ask you is, this is the next question people always ask me all the time. Is okay. So now it's first it's you two, but then now you need to hire employees. So what was that kind of step like for you? How is your vetting process of finding people? I met Nina. Shout out to Nina who put us together.
Absolutely.
Who was actually trying to leave the day I went in, but she had to ring me up for food. She said, "I'm trying to leave," but she was very sweet, and she had to bring me my food. So, but how do you do that?
Man, just a godsend. The people that we have around us, our core was built from his daughter.
Okay.
Absolutely. To my best friends that I grew up with just moved out here. to
Yeah,
help
they
build,
support that. That's the thing. His best friend supported. I mean,
Facts.
essentially, they would come
Facts.
out initially, like while we were in a pop-up
Yeah,
stage,
yeah.
and they saw what was happening, and it's a testament to him and his friendship. And they was like,
Yeah.
we're moving out,
here,
and they
facts.
literally moved out. Like, I want to be a part of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they also have aspirations of goals that they're
Oh,
trying to
okay,
reach
okay.
that can be attained out here as well. You know what I mean? So like it was primarily, it was for both. I mean, like we from Cleveland, Ohio. It's a certain ideology you have when you're from there, especially when you're there, you're working. You know what I mean? So it's like get married, have kids, you know
That's
what I mean?
it.
Work in a factory,
Right,
this, that, and the
that's
third,
it.
and
That's
that's
it.
pretty much the end of life,
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? So like, being able to have a platform where my bros can see a little more, you know what I mean, and really identify what it is because they're my guys are super creative, you know what I mean? Like, but coming from there, you don't always get to
That's
to
true.
use
That's
it,
true.
you know?
That's true.
So
That's true.
just them being able to help grow a business and also attain the goals that they set for themselves as well, man. It's just really, man, it's a beautiful blessing, man. And
There's a glass ceiling there, kind of, for certain things you may want to do in Cleveland.
Facts.
Whereas here, it's a little more broader. You can kind of go any direction.
Definitely.
I think that's
Don't get me wrong, I love Cleveland.
No, I like Cleveland, but I'm just saying, I know that some parts of the Midwest there are ceilings, kind of.
I
for
think
certain
it's
things you wanna do.
everywhere though. It's everywhere like that. I mean, obviously I lived in D.C. and then
Yeah.
I was in New York before I moved
Yeah.
out here as a business school. But the whole thing is like each market based on sort of the dynamics of that market. So you have some cities that's heavily government. They have some cities heavily contracting. So if you're from that city, the influence of that city is just going to be so much
that's
that.
true.
And so for you to say, hey, I want to create my own show, I want to do these other things, if that's not the dynamic of that city, people are going to look at you
Yeah.
like, James,
Right.
what you talking about? You don't show.
Right, I know. Right.
Are you crazy?
I know, right? No, right.
Go get a job at the, at this
Self-projected.
corporate
Right.
company. So
Right. No,
that's
right.
a part. If we're here, I think it's the as I say, the possibility of anything is possible here in LA. It's
is,
like,
it
doesn't
really
matter
is.
what you want to do. It's like,
That's why it's hard to find a true Los Angelian a lot of times. They're like, everybody's from somewhere else.
It is. No, I ran into a few of them, man.
Yeah,
The craziest
okay.
thing is that the people that I have the most problems with, or not necessarily problems with, but like don't necessarily always agree with, are the people who aren't from here. You know what I
funny.
mean?
Okay.
So like all the folks I know from LA, man, are solid.
See, we're nice
that's true.
people.
For
Everybody's
sure.
nice. No, we are. We get a bad rap sometimes.
For sure.
But I feel like here there is opportunity. It just really is for many things you may want to do, and it's also a bigger place.
100%.
So you can find your part.
And this is the
Right.
hub for everything. Everybody comes here. You know what I mean? It's the entertainment capital at the end of the day.
No, it totally is. Now, I have a question I ask you. Now, this is a question that it's only asked of us, but I'm curious what your answers are to this. Are you a business that's owned by black folks? Are you a black business? How do you feel about that, and tell me and why? Because we get asked it all the time. Are you a black host, James, a black producer, or are you a producer who's black? You know, that kind of story. And I'm like, okay.
That's a good question.
I guess
What you think? I was thinking.
okay. So
You know.
I think it's probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
In a sense that we are we're a business in regards to sort of the business model, the customer service, the quality of the food, the structure,
Yeah.
all those things. Clearly, checks and balances. That's
Your
the
business.
That's the business.
Yeah.
But culturally, we're a black-owned business. When you walk in terms of
Unapologetically. man.
right, the
So-
food
like
that
it.
we serve is homage to sort of our ancestors in terms of it's cultural, in terms of the art on the wall. So it's a celebration of the culture, essentially. So that, in regards to that, then from that perspective, we're definitely a
Like that.
black-owned business because culturally that's who we are. We invite and welcome everybody.
Everybody, of course.
But we're supporting and celebrating the culture. So
Absolutely.
the spades, the bones, it's
So you're
all
like,
these
welcome
things.
to our culture. Welcome to our
Absolutely. Here
space.
you go.
Exactly.
Here you go. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You
Right.
know, no clutching of the purses. It's all good. Just
Right.
Doesn't matter.
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, the thing is, like, we're welcoming you in. So, yes, we have black stuff, but you're welcome to come in and join us and see what it's like for you.
Facts.
You may enjoy yourself. You may
Right.
like it. You may walk away with something new that you didn't know about.
Right.
And it's not super black
No, it's
where
not,
it can
it's
be.
not.
You feel
Yes,
me? I mean,
yeah.
not necessarily super black, but it's not like we're not selling chillings. You know
Yes.
what I mean? We're not selling. We're selling food that can be. You know,
Yes.
even if
Yes.
you're just sticking your toe in the soul food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Yes.
can pop the cherry a little bit.
Yeah.
But what I realize in there are things because foods transcend cultures.
Yes, they do. They do.
There's so many things that we eat and think that is solely our
Right,
culture
it's not. It's not.
that
Definitely not.
other cultures. So essentially, what I realize we have a huge sort of Asian following.
Oh, funny.
And
Okay.
yeah, and so one of the things that we realize is from talking to some like Korean friends and other people that come,
Oh,
the
yeah.
food, the flavor profile reminds them of home as well.
How
So
funny.
even I had no idea. Like I think the yams like a big thing in it's not Korea, but what I think in the Philippines.
Okay.
So the yams. So it's those things where we have no idea, but
Absolutely.
the
Like the
greens,
collard
the
greens are
collard
like,
greens,
yeah,
like the kimchi,
kimchi,
so
yeah.
in the
Oh,
sauce.
funny,
So
okay.
the way we
Same
fried
profile.
chicken, our chicken, that's how they would do it at home. So because of that, there's also the home for us and them. So those are the things you realize, like, hey, like
Facts.
they're home too. Like
Yeah.
we're all home. It's this big family. So
exactly,
that's one of those things, a conversation around food that we found out.
I like that. Let's see. We're going to take our last break of the evening. We're talking to Comfort LA folks here. We'll be right back. Extra Connections on the After Party Radio.
Dreams, fears, failures. Hope. Dreams, fears, failures. Hope. Dreams, fears, failures. Hope. Dreams, fears, failures. Cares. Question. 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 And answers. Question. 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 And answers. Answers. Failures. Failures. Questions, answers. Questions, answers. Failures. Answers. Hopes, dreams, fears. Questions, answers. Questions, answers. Triumphs. Answer. Life, cares, wonders. Questions. Answers. Asking questions. Getting answers. Questions. Answers. Asking questions. Getting answers. Getting to know you. Getting to know me. Question. Getting answers. Question. 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 Asking questions. Getting answers. Hopes, dreams, fears, failures. Hopes, dreams, fears, failures. Hopes, dreams, fears, failures. Comes life, cares. Asking questions. Getting answers. Question. Answers. Asking questions. Getting answers. Question. Answers. Asking questions. Getting answers. Getting to know you. Getting to know me. Getting to know you. Getting to know me. Getting to know real fears, failures. Getting to know real fears, failures. Getting to know real fears, failures. Getting to know real fears, failures.
And we are back. That is my song, Questions and Answers, from my last album called Songs Inspired by My Show Breaking Into. My award-winning show. I won an award in August.
Hey,
Thank you. My first media award ever.
Beautiful. Congratulations, brother.
12 years in the business. And in D.C. I was in D.C.
okay.
And I won an award for Best Entertainment Series.
Oh,
So that was
sweet,
kinda great.
sweet.
So you can buy that on, no, it's for free on SoundCloud, James Lott Jr. on my page there. Okay. What is kind of your mission with this restaurant? What is the mission of Comfort LA?
Provide opportunities where there aren't opportunities.
I like that.
You know, we want to create a platform where it doesn't matter what you want to do.
Okay.
We want to be a part of helping you get there. All
I
right.
like that.
So he could test to it a little further. Like we understand everybody doesn't want to serve chicken all day. You know what I mean? But if you come in, build with us, you know, identify what it is that you want to do.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
do everything in our power to assist you to do that, to get there. And that might be
Right.
with the company, you know,
Right,
but at
right.
the same time, it might not be. So more just from my perspective, I know I just want to provide as many opportunities to help motivate and inspire as many people as humanly possible while I'm on this planet.
Well, right now, you're doing that right now. So
Respect.
you being here, you're doing that right now. And
Respect.
so what do you say to that?
No, I mean, I totally agree. I think essentially one of the things that we've heard so much from, you know, a lot of our sort of, we call them family members, other people may call them employees, is sort of the fact that we've shown them something different, like brothers doing something positive,
Yes.
but just in a way that is done. It's like, oh, we've never seen anybody do like this, and just the conversation. So oftentimes, you know, we may be in the kitchen, like I said, frying stuff up, cooking, or whatever it is, and, you know, we have sort of, you know, people say, hey, I'm writing this book. What do you think about this? Or, you know, how to go about this thing? Or I'm thinking about launching this T-shirt idea. Is this a good idea? I'm thinking about this thing. And so it's an open forum. So it's like, hey, yeah, you ought to think about this. Research that. Maybe Google this thing. Or say, I'm thinking about investing. I say, I've saved up X amount of dollars. I'm thinking about investing the money. Where should I go, Mark? And I'm like, well, what's your horizon? You think about doing it this way. Don't just throw your money in. Breaking it down in a simple manner and say, hey, if your thing is video games, then you may need to look at best of breeds within that sector. Absolutely. Don't just say, hey, I'm going to go buy Google or whatever. Invest in the thing. So breaking certain things down that may seem very complex, but doing it in a simple manner that's relatable to that person, so they're able to then obtain and reach their goal, and just really inspiring people. That's what it really boils down to, is inspiring people so they're able to then, it's to put the proper steps in place for them to reach the place that they want to go. Or sometimes they may not even know, but I think by having that environment, so it's, like I said, I'm an open book. You work there, you've got my number. Hey, and so even Monday coming up, some of our employees are going to meet me. I'm going to sort of set aside a time where, as I call like a strategy intensive, where they kind of come in and like on Monday be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And, for those 2 hours, I'm going to be like, hey, do this or try this or do that, and this is how to do it. Because that's what I did. I scale companies. So part of it, I look at, there's a wealth of knowledge and information. And for me, information is to be shared. I mean, I've even had customers come in, and a lady last week came in and said, like, I'm glad you're here. You're one of the owners. How did you get started? And so, and her interest wasn't in a restaurant. She was wondering, she was thinking about a daycare, or I think she was also talking about being not an appraiser. It's another area, but whatever it was, a notary. And then I started talking. I said, well, notary, there's a limit on the amount you can charge. So a notary is not enough for you to say, hey, I'm going to leave my job or leave everything and just do that, because it's not. I mean, it's it's $2 or $5. They just increase very minimum per signature, so per document. So we got to talking about the daycare and what may need to happen and what areas she could look to get the license and things like that. So, it's the same thing where oftentimes people just need someone who's done it to say, hey, it's possible.
You can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing.
You guys are already, show just by being who you are, by the way you look, 'cause we're judged by the way we look. And that's in every race nowadays anyway. But as black men,
it is what it is.
Even black women too.
Extremely large black men.
Yes. With hair stuff.
Come on, man.
And all this stuff. I mean, you're showing people already that, you guys are defying what people may think what you are when they first see you.
True.
You know what I mean? They'll look at you and go, trust me, I'm big, bald-headed black guy.
And a lot of times I feed into it anyway. Like,
that's fun.
Yeah, man, I clean the floors in the back, man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my job.
But I think, in all seriousness, I think you're showing people by being who you are that we are not this one thing. You can't just judge us by how we look. We all have a story it could be very different, and we can all do things even I think we can do.
Right.
But based on the way we look and our color. Why can't we have businesses? Why can't we start a clean soul food? Like, why can't we do that? Like, why not? There's a girl, Babette, who has her vegan soul food place in Inglewood. It's beautiful. Yeah. And there's also the guys at Hilltop who are doing their thing.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like we're showing people that you guys are showing people there's another, that we're many things.
True that.
Sipping soda too, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. We're many things. We're not just one thing.
Facts.
That's my thing too. I try to show people that I'm just not this one thing. Based on how I look or how you may think what's going on or how we're dressed or whatever. It's all just trappings. It's all just outer stuff.
It's real.
True.
It's real, man.
You guys are much deeper than that, I can tell.
The soul is endless, man.
It is.
The physical is temporary.
Okay, so you guys, tell people where they can find you guys online and on the maps and everything, where they can find you guys in the store.
All right, online, we're at EAT, comfortla.com. Social media, comfortla_. All the platforms. Like I said, we post everything on Instagram.
Comfort_LA.
Oh, comfort_LA. I'm like,
you said it so smooth, though. I was like, okay, sure, I'll talk.
Yeah, so we post everything. We host a ton of events.
Absolutely.
We do pop-ups all over the country. Our products available online, and then the physical store, our downtown location is 1110 East 7th Street, and that's downtown. We're open from 11 a.m. until midnight.
Where's East 7th?
East 7th is 1 block west of Central Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I think what happens is if you don't put East,
Yes, that's what I was saying.
it's 7th. I think it takes you on the
Yes.
total
Yes,
opposite
that's
side.
why I'm asking.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay,
So
like,
yeah,
where
so
am I going to get? Okay.
yeah.
yes.
So East 7th is essential for downtown. So like I said, we're open from 11 a.m. until midnight on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays.
Okay.
And Fridays and Saturdays are open from 11 a.m. until 3 a.m.
Ooh, 3 a.m.
at that
okay.
location. And then,
Wow.
yeah, late hours, we get it in, And then,
I know you get it. I mean, trust me. I know you get the crowd.
That's
I'm
what
sure.
we were built on,
Right.
Yeah, I know you
late
get
night.
it. I know you get it.
And then in Inglewood, we're at 902 North LaBrea Avenue. Same thing in Inglewood. Because if you put 902
I
North
know.
LaBrea, it's going to take you to Hollywood.
I know.
So
Yes, it will. No,
It will.
You will not find it.
Right. We're on
Very
total
true.
opposite end. So, and Inglewood hours are, we're closed on Mondays, both location, but essentially it's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. With the exception of Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays, we're open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
A little hour later.
Right,
We'll
it's
sleep
an hour
in.
later, just,
sleep
for
in.
now. So,
Yeah.
we may eventually obviously extend the hours, but those are some
Yeah.
things
That's
that
subjective.
we're,
Yeah.
we're listening to the neighborhood and gradually making adjustments.
Oh, the
based
neighborhood's
on-
changing.
Right.
Oh, and okay, before you even go, there's a whole thing about Popeye's chicken on Instagram. It's a little video. Roll it. Just kidding. I thought it was kind of like, make sure I bring that up. It's kind of,
Respect, bro.
that's one of the things we know. I loved it.
That's key.
I'm
That's
like,
key.
they're standing in line for a
Come on, man.
chicken sandwich at Popeyes. Come on.
Come on, bro.
Go there,
we
go
got
there.
a big sexy right here. You understand me?
Look at this thing.
That's way better than Popeyes. Come
Way
on
better.
now, don't play yourself.
Way
you know?
better. Way
You know?
better.
Sometimes you got to show the people because if they don't know, how you want to choose.
I loved
So,
it. I saw it. I loved it.
Respect, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Mark Walker, Jeremy McBryde. Thank you guys.
Thank you, my brother.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you very much for being there. Can I be an honorary member or something? I don't know what that means.
It's good, man. You got to grow a couple more whiskers, man.
I'm trying. It's all
Gotta
great.
let it
more
out.
whiskers, man. You in there, brother. I
I'm
promise.
trying. It's all great.
It's
too.
all
It's all
good,
good, man. Be
wisdom.
you. It's all exactly.
Oh, okay, I'll take that. Wisdom. I'll take that. My kids say other things, but yeah, okay, wisdom. This call me old. You guys, Extra Connections, unfortunately will not be on next week because I'm actually doing something kind of crazy, but I'll let you guys know about that later. But on the 25th, we're back right before Thanksgiving. We're talking spirituality. We're talking about giving thanks. My friend Reverend Jesse, who's from Inglewood, is going to be here with me. We're going to talk all things just spiritual and just getting your life in order and being of service to other people because that's very, very important. Wherever you live, you should be in service to your community.
Facts.
You can find your own way, whatever that is, but you should. That's just my stern talking to you. And you can find me, James Lott Jr. Where all James Lott Jrs are sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. Talk to me, say something. You have something you want me to talk about? Tell me. I like to listen about that also. My music is out everywhere. Just go anywhere there's music, Spotify, Pandora, whatever. Just type in James Lott Jr. Music comes up. My new book coming out tomorrow is called A Winter's Night. It's a Christmas mystery. I know, Brittany's like, James, you have a book coming out too? Yes, it's coming out tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And it's a Christmas mystery on Amazon. It's like $5. Just get it. Get a nice, if you're flying back east, read it. It's an easy read. So do that and get that on us everywhere. And of course, just follow me everywhere. See you guys in a couple of weeks. Have a great couple of time to connect with each other.
Hi, I'm James Lott Jr., producer and host of Extra Connections. Join me every Monday live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I bring on people from all walks of life. I will connect you with people, places, things, and ideas. You'll never know who will stop by. That's Extra Connections every Monday on the west side of the After Party Radio. See you at the party.
You are now listening to The West Side.